I'm gonna try. We'll see what we can get. What was this? Was there any dishonesty? What was this dishonesty? Well, actually, let's just be a little bit more general, since I'm making an assumption with the dishonesty, even though it's implicated a few times here. But what were the communication challenges? What did that look like for Taurus, please? Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. What did their communication challenges look like? The Six of Pentacles, the Knight of Swords, and the Knight of Wands. Yep. One of this is you, and one of this is them. Right? You're both coming through as knights. Knights are mutable energy. Knights are less reliable. Right? It's not a queen or a king. Knights aren't necessarily fully, the most committed knight in the tarot is the Knight of Pentacles. That's not what we see here. We see the two masculine energies, which is air and fire, the least stable, the least controlled, the least maintainable, right? It's hard to maintain fire and air. They kind of do what they want, right? Earth and water are easier to contain. You can think about it that way. So you guys are coming out as like strong masculine energies. So I'm willing to bet that there was some butting of heads that started to happen once this cuteness kind of wore off. I think you guys probably started to butt heads, and then, you know, insert the Six of Pentacles. It came out like right in the middle here, and the reciproc. So I'm going to read this as the reciprocation, the give and take in the relationship started to get strained. There was too much, how do I want to say this? There was too much like kind of push-pull, like tugging in different directions. Let's say it that way. Too much tugging in different directions. Like you might have wanted to do one thing, Taurus, and the person you're thinking about wanted to do something else. And so maybe there was that happened a lot on the weekends, right? So like maybe you guys couldn't, had a hard time deciding what you were going to do on the weekend because one person wanted to go to the movies and one person wanted to go out for dinner, or one person wanted to stay home and watch a movie and the other person wanted to go out to a party, right? And have a good time. And like that, you know, not that sitting on the couch and watching movies is a good time, but you know what I mean? So that's what I'm getting here with the Six of Pentacles coming out right in the middle is conflicts of interest. You know, maybe one of you was more passive and the other one was a little bit more like extroverted. You know, it's that kind of energy. So over time, what could have happened, right? So kind of once this started to become apparent that you guys kind of had different interests possibly and like wanted to ultimately end up doing different things a lot of the times, was maybe one of you, and based on this reading, I'm guessing it was the person you're thinking about, Taurus, or the thing that you're thinking about. Maybe they started to be a little sneaky. Dang it, that sucks. Maybe they started to kind of do things without you. Man, that's kind of what I think that's what this Princess of Arrows in reverse might be about. They started to be a little sneaky. And like, or not even, I mean, sneaky, I guess for some of you could apply. The other thing would be like, they would just, you know, start doing what they wanted to do and not necessarily tell you about it. They would just kind of do it. And then you might find out later, that kind of thing. Okay. So I'm trying to decide what else to take a look at here for you, Taurus. All right, this might, I'm hoping this isn't going to be too painful, but I feel like I want to take a look at why this Innocence card is in reverse. So this is the Fool in reverse. So why they may not be willing to give this another shot, or maybe why they lost faith in this relationship, okay? All right, so for Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. For the person or the thing that Taurus is thinking about, why is this Innocence card in reverse? What was this for that person? Why are they avoiding giving this another chance? Why did they lose faith in this relationship? Can't make this shit up, guys. You got the Fool to clarify the Fool. The Queen of Wands. So now you have a Queen of, excuse me, my nose is itching. You have a Queen of Pentacles and the Queen of Wands. I don't think you're going to like what I have to say about this. And the Moon. Son of a biscuit. I don't think you're going to like what I have to say about this, Taurus. This person has things about their life, maybe some internal needs, maybe some trust issues, but I don't know that they had the capacity to be fully transparent and honest with you. And I'm kind of getting that they like, dang it, this is hard to say. I'm so sorry, Taurus. I'm so sorry if this hurts, but I'm kind of getting that they already have their eyes on someone else, or they might even, or you might already know, like they might be already dating somebody else. And I'm also getting, a lot of sexual energy here with the Queen of Wands. Maybe this person is, kind of in a phase of their life where they just kind of want to play the field a little bit. They just kind of want to fly by the seat of their pants and just do whatever. They don't want to be tied down in a relationship. And they're not ready with the Moon. They're not ready to do any kind of deep internal work. I don't think that they're ready for that. I think they're playing around right now. And we all, there's no judgment here. I'm not judging. This is really more just about acknowledging where this person is. And I don't see this as being an energy that's conducive to a relationship. This person wants to kind of do their own thing. And they're not ready to face their demons right now. They're not ready to kind of do like the work, right? The work to heal some things that probably they need to heal. They're not ready yet. And so when you have this Moon energy, of course, now it makes sense. They don't want to deal. They don't want to make any hard decisions right now. They probably were a little dishonest. And if it wasn't dishonesty, it was like omission. I'm so sorry, Taurus. Well, that's what I'm getting here, okay? This person isn't ready. I think you really wanted to give this a shot. Unfortunately, they're not. This all makes perfect sense now. You guys are definitely in different energies. You're in different places. You really are. Your energies are different. And, they want to, this is getting interesting, trying to hold all these cards. They need some space and they need to kind of do their own thing, cliche, but, if it was yours, let it go type of deal, if it if it returns, if it comes back to you, it was yours. If it doesn't, it never was. That's kind of the energy that I'm getting here, is it's probably in your emotional best interest and your, kind of mental best interest to kind of let this thing go, because this person is not ready for anything. I don't think this person's ready for anything serious right now. I really don't. And the energies are not necessarily in alignment. You're not going to get the reciprocation and the cooperation that you probably want, and the stability, Taurus, the stability that you probably want, right? Like, yeah, because this was you. The Four of Wands is an incredibly stable energy. It might be temporary, but it's still stability. And it's a very Taurian thing to want. I get it. I have Taurus midheaven. You want it to be happy in this relationship. You want it to be able to express yourself emotionally and have it be reciprocated. And you definitely had passion and attraction for this person. I don't think that they were fair to you though, Taurus. I don't think that they gave you a fair shake, because they're in this they're in an exploratory phase where I see you as wanting to kind of settle down and be more stable. You were willing to kind of fight for something. You don't get to the Nine of Wands without fighting. They're in the Two. They didn't get very far. I don't know that they gave this I don't know that they put as much effort and energy into this as you did. The other interesting thing to note here is that you came out as a wand. They came out as an arrow or a sword. And when we pull these, same thing. Wands and arrow, or in this case, sword, right? So it's matching up. The way that cards are coming out, the energies are lining up. One of you is in a Wands energy and one of you is in a Swords energy. And sometimes fire and air are supposed to be compatible elements. The flip side of that is it might have kind of burned out of control, right? The fire, the passion may have just gotten too hot. It might have expanded too quickly. I did kind of get that message earlier too when we were looking at kind of this stuff. Like this might have been like one of those hot and heavy relationships. All right, so I'm getting a lot of confirmation in the clarifiers, and I hope that you found this helpful. But before we leave, I do want to pull you a parting message, okay, Taurus? So for Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, can we please get Taurus a parting message of inspiration or healing? What message can we give to Taurus? Yay, spider spirit. Beautiful. Make your dreams real. So, Taurus, I'm going to go back to this. You want this. You want to have the stability. You want to have the partner that you've always dreamed of. You're ready. I feel like you really are ready to meet the person and to settle down. So don't give up, right? So Spider Spirit is encouraging you to make that shit happen. Just because this didn't work out, and just because this person is in a different energy than you're in, and they're on their own journey and they need to go through their own experience, which unfortunately is not compatible with where you're at right now, that doesn't mean that you can't have this, right? There's a whole world out there, and this card is encouraging you to go out and explore that world. I'm going to pull you one more message of inspiration or healing for Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus relative to this relationship, please. One more card for Taurus. Turtle Spirit. Slow and steady wins the race. I think this is going to go back, Taurus, to what we talked about. This might be like a reminder for you. If this was in fact a relationship that was like full steam ahead, one of these, we fell in love really fast. It happened really fast. We met, and the next thing we knew, we were spending every day together, and we were having sex right away, and like, that whole thing. Next time, take it easy. You know what I'm saying? Just take it easy. Slow and steady. Date for a while. Sex can wait if it's meant to be, you know, type of thing. I'm not going to lecture you. It's your life. You do what you want. But Turtle Spirit is encouraging you to kind of, you know, slow down a little bit. So next time, you know, maybe make it a point. So you might be one of those people. I happen to be one too. It's something I have to work on, where I tend to fall pretty fast. It's a challenge, right? It's something we have to work on. So Turtle Spirit is encouraging you to take a little more time next time. All right. So I hope that you got something from this reading, and that there was some kind of validation for you, or insight, or inspiration on how to move forward past this. Okay, Taurus?